Hello, everyone. We're going to talk about wrestling today. And by wrestling, I mean wrestling. First, let me blatantly plug the video by Max Landis called "Wrestling Isn't Wrestling," where he went over the career of Triple H because that video was absolutely hilarious and one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It should win an Oscar and an Emmy and a Tony and a Golden Globe and a Nobel Prize and a Peabody and a Sherman Award and a People's Choice and a Kid's Choice and an MTV Video Music and I that's all the awards I can think of. I think BET has an award show now. Fox has the Teen Choice Awards. I think it should win one of those. WWE has the Slammy Awards. Let's give it one of those. I think ECW at one point had the Extreme Awards show. Hey, that's something we can talk about since we're rambling aimlessly and I don't obviously have a topic today to actually talk about. I have been watching ECW on the WWE network because the WWE network is $10 a month for countless things that you should obviously buy, and you're an idiot if you don't have it. And I have noticed the difference between ECW in 97, 98, 99, and 2000. And the difference was in 2000, ECW tried to be the number 3 company. They're trying to be number 3. They're trying to be elevate themselves up into number 2 and be like WWF and WCW, when before that they were just trying to be some little crazy little nutty company. And you notice the difference in wrestlers, and you notice the difference in uh, production quality and this and that. And so let's talk about some of the wrestlers. You know, obviously in 97 and 98 and 99, we had the iconic ECW wrestlers before they left to go try their hand, and then in 2000, several of them came back. But a lot of them left in 99 and then came back in 2000 because they realized they weren't talented, which a lot of them weren't. Except for Raven. Raven, very talented. Dudley Boyz, very talented. Lance Storm, overly talented, didn't make it anywhere. He should have, though. In WCW, he had a really good career, though. Lance Storm had a really good career in WCW, but in WWF, he just couldn't make it somehow. But anyways, in 97 and 98 and 99, they had Lance Storm, obviously. Justin Credible was just coming into his own. You know, Tommy Dreamer, who had not broken every bone in his body yet, performing for ECW, which he would do because he was Tommy Dreamer and he lacked some brain cells. That's when they still had Terry Funk. That's when they still had Sabu, who left but didn't really go to a big company. He left more because they weren't really paying him. They still had the Dudley Boyz, who were very talented. Rob Van Dam was there. Rob Van Dam was always there. Because Rob Van Dam refused to leave ECW. He's like, I'm not leaving, I'm happy. Though you owe me $50,000. I don't know if he just decided if he kept working, the money would go down. You know, he did a lot of drugs, so I don't know. Sandman was there. Um, he was drunk, obviously, but Sandman was always drunk, so it didn't really matter if he was drunk, obviously. So it just you had these ECW originals who were so talented or insane, or however the case may be. Like Sandman was drunk, so he didn't know what the fuck he was doing half the time. He was just drunk off his ass. And Tommy Dreamer had a fucking I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that man. I think he's got something seriously wrong with his brain. Um And then you had Rob Van Dam and the Dudleys and the really talented people who made it. But then in 2000, you've got people who are more. They're equally talented, but they're more like the independent wrestlers we see today. And they fight in that more independent style, and that's people like Kid Cash, people like Nova, people like Chris Chetty, people like Steve Corino was there. He was a big star during that time. And Steve Corino, he was tiny. Man was tiny. I think my dog's bigger than he is. Justin Credible became a big star, and Justin Credible was never that talented. I'm sorry, Justin Credible. You were never gonna be a big star in another company, like Van Dam or Storm or the Dudleys could be. Dreamer was still there, and Dreamer still was breaking his bones, but Dreamer, there's something wrong with that man's brain. So it was just the difference between these guys are talented in the 97, 98, 99, and they'll do extreme things, but they also had, the people who would do the high flying, the people who would do the technical, the people who would do this, versus 2000 where it was all kind of the independent style because the talented people were gone except for like Jerry Lynn and Justin Credible and Tommy Dreamer and Rob Van Dam. But Rob Van Dam was always he always kind of wrestled in an independent style anyways. And it's just that interesting, like that jump from 99 to 2000. It's an interesting thing to see. And it's almost like you're looking at two completely different companies, but you got to realize the same people are in charge, and it's just unique. But then you had Raven and you had Sandman come back, and they're just like over the top, and they seem completely out of place when they came back because the company had changed into something that was almost becoming legitimate versus when they were there in the first place, and it was something that was on the fringes of lunacy. But that's what made it popular, because it was different and possibly insane. Pretty much it was Tommy Dreamer in 97, 98, 99, and then in 2000 it became more Rob Van Dam. In 97, 98, 99 it was different and possibly insane, and then 2000 it became, it's more independent. Plus, they got replays after the matches in 2000, which they never did before. They put down mats in 2000, which they never did before. Outside the ring. Before that, they always just fought on the concrete and hurt themselves. Sandman never minded, but then again, Sandman was drunk and probably didn't feel anything until the next day, and then he just got drunk again and said, fuck it, because he was the Sandman. So yeah, it's just that interesting jump between that proved that ECW was going to grow as a company, but maybe it was going to grow out of the lunacy of its extreme beginnings and into something more independent and sane, and trying to become an independent secondary or independent third company, and not become something that just hinged on lunacy. I don't know. It's just something interesting I noticed.